So here we go again. WutheringWaves hits us with 2 reruns at once, and suddenly everyone's Astrite's budget starts shaking. On one side, you've got Brent, flashy, fusion-driven DPS with built-in heals and shields, the mid-air combo king. On the other, Canterella, the havoc damage dealer with a team-orientated kid that's been quietly waiting for her perfect partner. And then, Lupa arrived in phase 1 to hand her the synergy of a lifetime. The banners are here. The temptation is real, and the question is unavoidable. Which one is actually worth your pools right now? But before jumping into it, we have to pay some rent, so here's a word from our sponsor, Lootbar. You're ready to pool for your favorite character, but there's one problem. No loot ice. Instead of overpaying through the in-game store, head to lootbar.gg, today's sponsor, where the recharge process is fast, safe, and simple. You'll get an 11% discount plus a 10% new user coupon, saving you almost 21% compared to the official price. Your loot ice will arrive in seconds, and you'll be back in the game summoning top-tier characters and weapons. I was super skeptical of this, that I ran my own test, and it says that you'll get delivered your loot items in 30 minutes, but I got them in under 5 minutes. It was really fast. So with thousands of positive reviews and unbeatable prices, lootbar.gg is the smarter way to recharge in WutheringWaves. Click the link in the description in order to start saving money now. Now, let's start with Cantarella, because frankly, she is having a moment. The biggest thing working in her favor is timing. For Lova's release in phase 1, just lit a fire under Havoc comms, and Cantarella is one of the best pieces you can slot into those teams. Her damage is high, but more importantly, she amplifies what the rest of the team is doing, especially if they are building around Havoc resonance. This isn't a case of she's good in a vacuum, this is she's one of the most synergetic lineup the game currently has. If you already grabbed for Lova, pooling Cantarella right now turns her from a strong unit into a core piece of your main team. It's one of those moments where the devs clearly lined up banners to make people go, oh, they knew what they were doing. Now, let's talk Brent. He might not have a shiny new partner making headlines, especially that he recently had his best in slot resonator in a form of a furball. Lupa. But that doesn't mean he's faded into irrelevancy. Brant value has always been about versatility. He's not just a damage dealer, he's a hybrid unit who can heal, shield, and still push out strong fusion damage. His scaling with energy regen means that with the right build and preferably his signature weapon, Unflickering Valor, he becomes a reliable, consistent performer. Where Cantarella thrives in a very specific comms, Brant slots in a wider range of teams. You can run him as your main DPS or as a powerful sub DPS with a great outro buff that boosts fusion and resonance skill damage for whoever comes next. That flexibility makes him a safer investment in my opinion for players who like swapping teams around or don't want to commit to one resonance type forever. In the current patch, Cantarella has the edge. If you are chasing raw meta strength, Havoc teams, especially when paired with Lova, are looking like one of the top contenders in high-level content, and Cantarella fits them like a glove. But here's the catch, outside of those setups, she doesn't bring the same universal plug and play value that Brant does. Brant, meanwhile, isn't headlining any new meta comps, but he's more future-proof in the sense that he's not tied to a single niche. If the Havoc meta dips next patch, Cantarella value could take a noticeable hit, while Brant will still be doing his thing in multiple team configurations. Now, of course, both come with their own investment demands. Cantarella can function well without her signature weapon, but her damage ceiling jumps dramatically with it, especially if you are aiming to keep up with high-end Havoc team rotations. Brant, on the other hand, is noticeably gear hungry. Without solid energy regen in his signature, he loses a lot of his punch. If your account is already stretched thin on resources, Cantarella might give you a more immediate return on investment, while Brant will pay off only if you can commit to properly building him. So who wins? Well, it always depends entirely on your situation. If you have Lova and you are planning to run Havoc as a core team, Canterella is almost a no-brainer right now. The synergy is just too good to pass up, and she'll make that comp shine immediately. But if you either skipped for Lupa, prefer flexible characters who can slot into different teams, or you just love fusion gameplay with built-in survivability, Brent is the safer long-term bet. He might not spike as high in the current meta, but he's the kind of unit you can revisit patch after patch without him feeling outdated, if you know what I mean. At the end of the day, this is a rare case where both banners are legitimately good in my opinion. It just comes down to whether you are building for the right now or for the long haul. Cantarella is the short-term meta power pick, Brant is a long-term flexible investment, so it really depends in a sense which team you're going to be building. So who is gonna be? Are you riding the Havoc wave, or are you doubling down on fusion versatility? Something that I should note as well is that it depends on your playstyle as well, especially that for Lupa is sort of like a rectifier user, Brent is more of sword user, so it kind of depends on the animations you prefer and so on, so there is a lot of variables that you have to take for consideration. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video helps you sort of decide. This is not the main determiner, but this is sort of draw a bigger picture for you, and the ultimate decision is still in your hands. I want to know if you guys are going to be saving for maybe a future character such as Kushu Yuan, I can never pronounce his name correctly, or maybe Shisa, maybe Augusta, maybe Luno. Let me know in the comments down below if you are saving for those characters instead and skipping these patches entirely. I'm doing that right now. I'm just accumulating sort of asteroids and waiting for the biggest character in the world that sort of catch my eyes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button as it helps with the YouTube algorithm, and we're trying to reach that 5,000 subscribers. With that being said, I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye bye.